First of all, thank you so much to taking your precious time to join this webinar. My name is KK. I have been working in InfoSecurity for last, you can say, approx 20 years. And I have been very fortunate to work with several organizations in multiple domains. I got in chance to take flavor of approx all domain. Okay. So all domain of your InfoSecurity. About your InfosecTrain, I believe all of you know about this. It is one of the finest training institute which provide several training program and certification courses as per your requirement. They have some endorsement as well. They are offering more than 200 plus courses and they are delivering successfully. They also, tailor courses as per professional requirement. They have some trusted clients and they have and continuously delivering best training services for all trusted clients. Now, why InfosecTrain is important? And already you have experienced 24/7 training support. If you want to talk with trainer, you can discuss, you can clear your doubt after training, after your training completion as well. Now, CISSP. So CISSP is Certified Information System Security Professional. Everybody aware about this, right? I always said that if you understand the meaning of CISSP, your more than 50 to 60% work has done. Now, if you're saying more than 50 to 60% work has done, means just you have to focus in three things. CQ. What is a CQ? That means first understand the context, then content, and then your concept, right? Only three things you have to focus. But what you need to understand about CISSP? So CISSP, have two important words: information system and security professional. If you're talking about information system, generally I said that information system is PPT. That means your people, process, and technology. Now, you know that if you ask to any professional about information system, they will actually give different responses. I'm not saying those responses is right or wrong. Okay, but for CISSP, you have to understand information system is PPT, people, process, and technology. Why? This is the data center you have in your organization, or you are working in any data center. Okay, if you want to do any changes, you need a process. And what process? Change management process. If you want to do any changes, you need a process. Without process, if you are going to change, this is a very big risk for your organization and risk for business. And as a cybersecurity should be business enabler, right? We'll discuss later how actually business enabler. Okay, now what you are going to change? Maybe technology, maybe hardware, maybe software, anything, right? So you are going to change technology. And who will going to change? People. That means people, process, and technology required to drive any information system, required to drive any information process. Now, in CISSP, we have two important terms: your security professional, right? You have a term is security professional. And generally in your organization, there is two types of employee: one professional and one implementer, or you can say practitioner. Okay. Now, first you have to understand who is the professional and who is the implementer. If you understand, your 50 to 60% work has done. So that I said that if you want to clear, you know, if you want to achieve CISSP, first you have to understand what is CISSP all about. Many times you heard, and many professionals, your colleague also have a CISSP, you know, they already achieve CISSP certification. They are saying you have to think like manager. How you are going to think like manager? You are working for more than 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, every day trying to fix the problem. Now you are saying you have to think like manager, right? It's quite challenging. But you have to understand first what is the CISSP. Automatically it will come, you know, thinking like manager, thoughts, everything, it will come inside you. Okay. So, you know, any business or any organization will start with vision, right? In your house also, if you want to do, if you want to start new process, if you want to take anything, maybe you're going to buy a house, or maybe you're going to buy a car, or you are going to buy a system, right? Anything if you are going to do, it will start with vision. Okay. To fulfill the vision, you have to start actually making your mission. And for example, CISSP, you want to achieve CISSP. So what is your first, you want to actually achieve a CISSP? That is a vision. You want to clear your vision, then you are actually making your mission. Then you want to achieve your vision. What you need to do? You have to make a strategic plan. And you want to achieve your strategic plan, then you have a tactical plan. And you want to achieve your tactical plan, then you have your operational plan. Now, here CISSP role will start. Tactical plan. To, you know, a strategic plan always made by your senior management in your organization. You can say your board, all C executive, your CEO, your PO, your CTO, right? CISO also part of board as per new governance. Yeah, old still some organization is actually following. Your CISO is reporting to CIO or CTO. Okay, this is a actually not effective governance, because always they will influence with their functionality task. That means conflict of interest. Okay, now, so if you want to achieve your strategy, you have to make your tactical plan. And who will make tactical plan? Your security professional will make a tactical plan. That means if you want to achieve anything in your organization, you have to do your risk assessment, understand the requirement, do risk assessment, and after that, develop a solution. When you develop a solution, you have to give to operation team. And operation team work is implementing those solutions. So your work is not implementer, your work is to develop tactical plan. Your work as a security professional. So if you are going in an exam, or you are doing a practice, you know, in your for practice for any question set, or any you know, your practice books, always make your mindset you are a security professional. Always think you are a CISO, and you are going to give advice. And when I'm saying you have to do now onwards, why? Because it's quite challenging for you. And if you are thinking when you enter an examination hall, and you know, and front of system, after that you are start thinking like CISO, it's quite challenging, right? So you have to make your practice, because every day as a security professional, as a security, you know, info security professional, we are actually fixing the problem. What happened? You are a senior manager, and what happens? Some incident happen, and you are very good to, you know, in your SIM solution. So what actually generally managers do? Okay, I am trying, right? CSSP will never try. They will just give direction, and they will just give a solution. And we are actually doing every day implementer task, right? So for CISSP, you have to do your professional task, that you have to develop your tactical plan to fulfill the strategy. Okay. So that I said, you know, if you understand The meaning of CISSP, your 50 to 60% work has done. Exam is not difficult. Okay, exam is not difficult. Just we need to change our mindset. Now, second thing, this exam is all about 50 to 60% is an English test. If you are able to understand the question, you can easily respond. So my advice is to minimum read 2 times. Okay, if you're not able to understand, please read 3 times, no problem. But you have to read 2 to 3 times to understand the question. Today agenda, exam preparation plan, question discussion. Okay, so now first I am covering the exam preparation plan, how you are going to do this. If you are thinking to start, you have a different plan. And if already you have done, or maybe after 15 days, or maybe after 1 week, if you are going to give an exam, you have a different plan. Okay, so if your exam within a week or within 2 weeks, you have to focus your all hot topic. If I am saying hot topic, that means 100% testable in exam. Those topics 100% testable in exam. I'm going to give some topic, okay, and you have to ensure, before going to in exam, you have to clear all concept about those topics, because if you are in weak in those topics, this exam is going quite challenging for you, because you know that this is a CAT based exam. And if you are doing mistake, you will get more question in particular domain, a particular topic. Okay, the first your domain, the risk management, is driving factor for whole CISSP. Okay, so risk management, mainly your RMF, risk management framework, is the most important. You can get approx minimum 2 questions. Your CIA, minimum 1 and 2 questions. Now we are saying CIA, they are not going to ask direct question. Okay, direct question they are not going to ask. But if you read and if you understand, you can easily understand what question is talking about. Okay. Second, your code of ethics, you know that. Papa, 2 questions, 100% you will get. BCPDR, the you will get approx 4 questions, 3 to 4. If you are very good, after 2 and 3 questions, you will not get. But if you are doing mistake, you will get more question in BCPDR. Then your supply chain management, supply chain risk management, you can get 1 and 2 questions. Then your training and awareness, you will get 1 and 2 questions. And your controls, types of controls, and risk management already I have highlighted. So these topics you have to ensure you are very good to clear domain 1. Domain 2, your classification and categorization is very important. The data remnants. Data remnants, you can get approx 2 questions. Okay, categorization and classification, you will get 1 and 2 questions. Then your data life cycle, 1 and 2 questions. Then you will get your DLP is a part of this, approx 1 and 2 questions. Now DLP, they are not going to ask how you are going to implement, but you have to know what is the work of DLP, because in CISSP you have to read what is DLP, what is classification, what is categorization, what is risk management, what is BCP, what is MTO, what is RPO, what is WRT. Everything you are going to understand, but question will ask why DLP, why risk management, why risk mitigation, why risk avoidance, why risk acceptance, why RTO, why RPO, right? So that means you are understanding what, but you have to apply why. Okay. Now, domain 3, your security models. That means your BLP, Biba, Bella Padula, Biba, Clark Wilson is important. Then your zero trust, then privacy by design, KISS principle is very important. Then your TPRM, very important. 1 and 2 question you'll get. Cryptography, mainly you know that cryptography is quite challenging because very huge content. But if you are very good understanding in your digital signature, your PKI, your key management, cryptographic key management, and your CIA and non-repudiation. That means confidentiality, integrity, authenticity, and non-repudiation. You have a, good. Your concept should be clear. How you are going to, if A going to communicate with B, how A achieving confidentiality, integrity, authenticity. You have to know which key they are going to apply for this. Okay. Now, domain 4 is a technical domain. So you very good understanding about your OSI model. Then all types of network attack. Okay, like DOS attack, DDoS attack, SYN flood attack. The very good understanding. Then you have a firewall. You can get 1 and 2 questions. Then you will get some protocol, mainly like DNSSEC, DNS, how you're going to protect, what is DNSSEC, how you're going to achieve authenticity. Okay, then your OSFP types of protocol they are going to ask. Then your CDN, then NAC, SDN. Okay, all these topics highly testable in exam. Now you have a domain 4, domain 5, identity and access management. So domain 5, you have to know your, mainly federation is a highly testable. Then your SAML, then OpenID. Okay, then your DAC, NDAC, MAC, ABAC, RBAC. This area you can get 7 to 8 questions. All these area. So you have to ensure good understanding in this part. Okay, 100% testable in all these topics. Now, domain 6, a small domain, but very tricky. So you have to know what is internal, external, right? Audits. Then vulnerability assessment, right? Then your SOC, approx 3 questions, 3 to 4 here you will get. So you can say SOC is a backbone of domain 6. Then your software application testing, like your synthetic testing, your RAM, right? Okay. Then you have a static, dynamic testing, code review. All these are testable in exam. Then you have a domain 7, operation, right? So you have to incident management, approx 3 question, change management, configuration management, patch management, you will get approx 3 question. Then your investigation, that means you can say forensic investigation. Okay, you will get 1 and 2 questions. Then you have a CTI, cyber threat intel, 1 and 2 questions. So these are highly testable. You have to ensure, your concept must be clear before going to exam. Now domain 8 is a very important. SDLC phases, approx 6 to 7 questions. Okay. Then you have your like cross-site scripting, cross-site script forgery. These are highly testable in domain 8. Okay. Mainly domain 7, if your SDLC phase is not clear, it's quite challenging to clear domain 8. So before going to exam, You have to ensure all these topics. You are a master of all these topics. Okay. Question is saying you are conducting a risk management activity in your organization and identify the risk which needs to take action. Okay. That means you identify some risk. Okay. Which of the following is not true about risk mitigation? Okay, so in exam also you will get such question. They will actually trying to give some statement, problem statement, and after that they will ask the question. So if you are very good understanding, if your understanding is very good about risk management and what is the risk mitigation, you can easily respond. Okay, so first you have to understand what is risk mitigation. Okay, so how you are going to do this? That means first you have, if you are doing risk management, then you have to identify the asset. Now, if you identify the asset, then you have to identify the threat related to asset. Definitely, you will get a value of the asset. Then you have to identify the vulnerability, because what what is the loophole? That is right. What is the gap? What is the absence of control? You can say. Then you are doing your risk analysis, or maybe you can say assessment, maybe qualitative, maybe quantitative. Okay, and then on base you are going to take a mitigation, right? Then you are going to take your mitigation. Now, mitigation always cost benefit analysis. Now, for exam point of view, you have always remember, and how you are going to check your understanding. You can actually draw like this. Okay, no need to read whole paragraph. This is all about your risk mitigation. Now, mitigation, you know, in exam maybe you will get treatment, right? Risk treatment. So please don't confuse, because I said this is all about the English test. Okay, so now we have a mitigation. Maybe you have your acceptance, right? Maybe you are going to transfer, maybe you are going to avoid, or maybe you are going to reduce, or you can say mitigate. Now they are talking about risk mitigation. Okay, that means you are putting a control and reducing the risk on acceptable level. Okay, now first, the end state of risk mitigation is risk at acceptable level. Yes, this is a true statement, but here is a not true. So this is a true, so you can eliminate. Ignoring risk is not a risk mitigation, right? Ignoring risk is a risk acceptance. So first you need to understand when you are going to ignore or when you are going to accept. That means your severity level is negligible and your likelihood also negligible, right? This is the acceptance. So ignoring also, that means you are going to ignore this one also, right? The mitigation cost can be compared against control cost, right? Your risk benefit analysis, if you are going to do any risk mitigation, right? So this one, right? Now, D is saying risk mitigation is always the best means. No, not always, right? Maybe you can avoid, maybe you can accept, maybe you can transfer, right? The risk mitigation is not always best means to address risk. So this is the wrong statement. So it is not true. D is not true. Okay, so in exam also you have to eliminate like this. Okay, great. Try next. Thank you. Okay, question is saying during assessment and testing, your team has observed that a few application performance, okay, are not as per a specification. Okay, you want to verify the performance and behavior of the application. Which type of web application monitoring most closely measure actual activity? This is the keyword in this. Okay. Question is talking about you are going to you have observed some performance issue in some application. How you are going to and you want to test. But a statement is saying which type of web application monitoring most closely measuring actual activity. Now, database application monitor. This is not, that FIM tool, file integrity monitoring types of tool we are using for database. That means any changes in your database, you will get alert, right? So, but here we are talking about web application. Security information and event management, that means SIM tool they are talking, right? SIM, we are talking. That means log monitoring. Here we are not talking about log monitoring. So see also now A and B. So A is saying synthetic performance monitoring. So first you have to understand what is synthetic. Synthetic means duplicate. You are going to do some duplicate activity to check your application, right? That means you are creating a script or creating a scenario and testing this application. What is the performance of that application? Okay. Now, question is talking about measure actual activity. So actual activity always RAM. RAM मिटाए gum. That RAM not. Okay. Real user monitoring. And this is highly testable in exam. 100% one question you will get. Okay. So here saying actual activity, you have to use real user monitoring. No, each and every user activity monitored by RAM. Synthetic, just monitor your application performance. Okay, you are going to create a script and you are going to test all function is working fine or not. Okay, and it will help for your, very, very good for your troubleshooting and everything. But a question is saying web application monitoring must closely measure actual activity. It's a real user monitoring, RAM. Okay. Okay. Next, try this. Question is saying you are the CISO of manufacturing company. Yeah, definitely you are a CISO because you are going to give CISSP exam. You have to think like you are a CISO. Okay. Where you have to provide authentication to multiple third-party vendors. That means you have your organization and you have multiple vendors. You have to give access, right? Okay. To increase the functionality and security, both, right? It's not only security because as a security professional, our task to enable business, right? Because security cannot exist without business. Business can exist without security. Okay. So here we have to support how we are going to increase functionality with security. Okay. You propose a third party identity provider solution during the board meeting. Okay. Board members ask about the advantage of using third party identity provider for authentication. What is your best response? So you have to understand the federation. They are talking about federation, right? Third party identity provider. That means you are using a federation. That means you are going to log in one application, right? And after that, you can get access multiple application, right? You can say single sign-on, but it's not single sign-on because we are going to give third party and you are using third party solution also. So this is talking about federation because federation also have a three types. Your cross certification, right? Your trusted third party and your mutual verification, mutual trust, right? Now here talking about third party. That means this one. Okay. Trusted third party federation here we are talking. Okay. Application are no longer responsive on making authentication. No. You are using trusted third party. What is trusted third party? That means you have your IDP, then you have a service provider, right? And then you have a user. Now here user is your vendor, your IDP, your trusted third party, and service provider, you are going to provide application. Okay, I'm not going to actually teach federation, otherwise I can, you know, because the challenge part federation is not there in any CIBEX and CBK book in detail. Okay, so you have to understand how flow will work. Okay, now user are authenticated to different system, definitely. Then the application they are logging into, okay, you can park. This is talking about clear federation. Okay, federated authentication may not be supported. No, it will supported all types of application because you are going to use, right? If you're not supported, it's no why you are going to use. The number of username password a user needs to remember, no, because federation, this one is decreased, right? No need to remember number of password, right? How federation work every day in your life? Maybe you are going to, just highlighting, if you are going to access any application, for example via.com. When you click www.via.com, you will get two options: sign in and sign up, right? You are going to click sign in. Now you are getting, you have to put your user ID and password, or they will ask you are going to authenticate with Google or LinkedIn or FB, like Facebook, blah, blah things. Now you are selecting Google. When you click Google, Google will authenticate and you are able to access. This is all about your federation actually work. That means here, via.com is a service provider. Google is your identity provider and you are a user, right? So here, if you see user are authenticated to different system, then application they are logging into. This is the statement, raised statement of federation. So you have to understand how it actually works. Okay, try this. Okay, the question is talking about during the application development DevOps meeting. You emphasize to developers that security development lifecycle is a resulting of applying security based on lesson learned from the software development lifecycle. They are talking about SDLC. Okay, always there are confusion in SDLC because NIST, standard or your CVK as per CVK. So my advice is for SDLC, and SDLC is a universal, you can say the topic. If you go for maybe CSUM, maybe you can go for series, maybe you can go for CCSP, maybe you can go for CISSP. Everywhere you will get this topic. But in CISSP, it's a highly tested 7 to 8 question. Okay. So SDLC. Okay. Throughout the requirement development phase, each function feature of application must be evaluated from a cost perspective, security perspective, planning perspective, risk perspective. Now you have to understand what they are going to say. They are saying SDLC phases, okay, and in requirement phase, each function feature of application you are going to evaluate. Okay, this is the keyword: function features of application. That means already you have application. You are not going to develop this application with a scratch. Maybe you have a, that course, through course you have bought this application, or maybe you have application and during your maintenance, operation and maintenance, you have did some changes. So you have to understand how you are going to change and everything, right? So when you have application and you are actually testing of features in your requirement phase, okay, so what you have to consider? Always security, right? Security must be considered in initial phase. So what perspective you have to take? Security perspective. Definitely your risk perspective is there, but first security. It will come in, you can say B is covering D as well. Okay. Cost perspective after that, and planning, you know that after that. So answer is B. Try this. Now, question is saying a well-formed incident management process makes an organization organization cyber posture robust. What is primary objective of security incident response process? What is primary objective of IM, that is incident management process? Okay, categorize and classify the incident. Okay, this is a one type of element, but not primary objective. Okay, reducing negative impact. That means any incident happen, what is the aim of incident management team? They will trying to reduce the impact, right? Okay, you can park. Informing to senior management. Exactly no, because it's depend upon your incident severity, and it's not primary. First, you have to reduce the impact, and after that, you have to do inform to your senior management and stakeholders. So this one out. Confirming the incident. No, confirming the incident is the first step of your incident response. So this one out. The answer is B. Okay. Because if you see that your incident management process, and here also, team, you have to understand if you are going for exam, as per NIST and as per CBK, both highly testable as per NIST. That means first you have to know your preparation phase, then second your detection and analysis, then third one your containment reduction recovery, and then your post incident analysis, and how which element what action as an incident manager or incident responder you are going to perform in each step. You have to know. Okay, that you can actually easily clear this topic. Okay, try next. Mhm. As a security professional, what is the best course of action due to change in an organization security infrastructure? That means they are talking about security environment. You have done some changes, right? Change management, you can say, has been done. So definitely answer is D, because if you see, transfer the new risk, no. Okay. Analysis the control to mitigate the risk, no. Review the previous risk assessment, no. There is no sense, right? So perform the risk assessment, because risk assessment must be performed annually or any changes, right? So answer is D. Great, thank you. Try this. So if you see what is the first phase? Your requirement phase, right? Your requirement phase. In requirement phase, that means process and security expertise in design team, right? That means you are going to consider your security. Then after requirement phase, what is the next? You are going for your design phase, right? In design phase, mainly you are going to design on page. You are going to designing something on page. That means you are going to develop that test cases and everything. Okay. Now, after design phase, and yeah, definitely, then you are going for coding, or you can say your development phase, where exact coding you have to do. Now we care about here. You are going to do your threat modelings. Okay, you are going to in here you are going to do your security use cases. That means you are going to consider, not you are going to develop. Here also you are going to threat modeling, so that you are going to understand your vulnerability, exploits, right? Maybe you are going to use pasta or stride, any types of you are going to do. Then you have a coding. That means this is all about your development phase, right? Now development phase have a two rules, always remember. And here your testing phase will start. Okay, so development phase, That means your unit test you are going to do here, right? Unit test you are going to do here. Integration test you are going to do here. You can say your all static test you are going to do here. But your dynamic test, your pen test, everything you are going to do here. Your factory acceptance test going to do here. Now he is saying ultimate goal of testing. That means they are saying this phase. In this phase, we are going to uncover, evaluate all types of flaws in application with help of maybe your dynamic testing, or maybe you can say your penetration testing, or in some part of language you can say like factory testing. Okay, and the same, in this phase also your UAT test, user acceptance test happen. Then after that you are going for go live and your operation phase. Generally in your organization, follow the same method. So question saying what is the ultimate goal? That means after that nothing, right? You are finding the flaws and you have to fix, right? So ultimate goal is B. All identified flaws have been fixed. You have to ensure functional testing of all module you are doing. For what? You are getting some issue, right? And you have to fix. After that, you can actually go for operation. So what is ultimate goal of testing? Ultimate goal of testing to identify flaws and everything you have to fix, right? Answer is B. Okay, try this. Okay, others. During which phase of SDLC you must decide the specific hardware and software requirement. Which phase, where you are going to actually understand, decide. Design phase, no, because we have done earlier. Here you are going to do threat modeling, right? Planning phase, no. Initial planning, you are going to discuss stakeholders and everything. Because what is first your planning phase, then your define phase. Define phase is nothing, is a requirement phase. Okay, then your design phase, then your development phase. That means development phase is nothing, is your coding phase, right? Coding phase. So this one out, no. Design out, no. Now planning you are going to discuss with your stakeholders, right? Understanding the requirement. And after that, you are going to do define. You understand the requirement. Okay, this is client want to develop one application related to retail business. Now this is the actually requirement you understand during planning. And after that, on base of, you are going to do define. Define is nothing, is a requirement phase. Okay, so this phase is a answer. Try next. Okay, during board meeting, you highlighted that we don't have a strong digital trust program in place and may lose our customers. Okay, what is the main suggested pillar of digital trust you want to highlight? Okay, so security, privacy, ethics, availability, yes, some part of digital trust, but main, right? Security, sensitivity, ethics, integrity, okay. Security, confidentiality, integrity, this is actually good compared to this one because already covered. Security, privacy, ethics, transparency, integrity, security, privacy, confidentiality. Ethics, availability. Ethics is the more important. If you see availability already covered in security, right? So A is the answer. Security, privacy, ethics, transparency. Without ethics, we are not able to build our digital trust. Okay, answer is A. A. Okay, try this question. Okay, Detecting, eliminating, mitigating, controlling the impact of identify and unidentified risk are defined. Okay, risk analysis. Yeah, risk analysis. We can detect but not eliminate. This one out. Okay, risk mitigation. You can mitigate. We can say detect also, because you know what happened. You are going to do your risk assessment. Okay, when you will do, you know, identify then you are risk analysis. See, risk assessment and risk analysis, if we go in enterprise risk management, it's actually thin line difference. Okay, but for info security or for CISSP perspective, you can say both are same, but both are not same. Okay, you can consider for CISSP. Okay, now after this, you are going to do mitigation, right? And after mitigation, you are going to management. That means monitoring, right? Risk management. Okay, so mitigation is part, but you know, not controlling also, you can say, because they are actually reducing. Okay, reducing, identify, unidentified, but it's not unidentified, right? So this one out. Assessment is the same. You're trying to detect. Okay, so best is a management, because where you have to detect, eliminate, mitigate, and control the impact of identify and unidentified, everything in risk management. You can say all B, C, A is a part of A. Everything will cover in risk management. This is a just tricky question. Okay, it's a very tricky question. So you can say like this: risk management is equal to your assessment, mitigation, and analysis. Okay, always remember. Okay, try this. Okay, which of the following is characteristic of decentralized access administration? So we have two types of access administration: centralized and decentralized, right? So here talking about decentralized. That means you have your HQ, head office, and you have different offices, right? Like office 1, office 2, office 3, office 4. So already you have given, you know, access. All office will take their own decision about administration, access of administration. So if anyone, if user one join, okay, if user one join in office one administrator will actually give access and everything. If user two join office two, then office two will take care. Here HQ role is nothing. Okay, more uniformity. Sorry, just more uniformity. No, more uniformity will come in centralized. That means one center of command, power of command. Okay, one person. So he will take. Okay, so it's not decentralized. This one out. Better adherence to policy? No, because different offices, right? Right. Prem can take their own decision. Kapila will take their own decision. Vinayak will take their own decision, because they have a different offices. So you know, policy might be different. Okay, so this one also out. This is actually good for centralized. Now, most cost effective. No, centralized is most cost effective, because you have a one, you know, you can say one or two resources in your headquarter, and you have a, you can say one and two system. But here, everywhere you need resources, you need workstation to do this, right? So cost is more for decentralized. Centralized cost effective. So this one also out. That means better alignment with business unit. So what is the requirement of office A? Office A will actually take care. Okay.